We've been friends for about 6 years, but you just didn't know it. I fell in love with this place, but I don't want to stay here though. I want to do what you do and slow travel around the world. In fact, when I first started watching your channel, I remember you saying that term slow travel. And I'm like, that's it. That's the word for that. What I want to do. I want to minimalize down to one backpack, not be a hippie backpacker, but like be a guy like you that goes around, has his clothes all in one bag and travels easy and just go travel the world like you. It's just, yeah, you're living the dream that I've always wanted to live. It's wonderful. Was married for about 14 years and it just didn't work out. She wanted to build a castle and I wanted to explore.
This is Dan of Vagabond Awake, and today we're happy to have Michael as a guest on the Vagabond Awake. Michael, welcome to the channel.
Thank you very much, Dan. It's my pleasure. I'm honored to be on your channel.
So, Michael, what is your home country and where are you sitting at this very moment?
My home country is the United States of America, and I was from a place called Phoenix, Arizona. Right now, I'm sitting in 𝗏𝗏, which is a section of Siem Reap, Cambodia.
Very cool. So how long have you been living there?
I have been in Siem Reap for about 4 months now, a little over 4 months now. I plan on staying here for a little while, yeah.
Is this your first time living overseas?
Yes, permanently, yes. I have been around to a few countries, Mexico, Latin America, the Philippines, and Cambodia, and a few countries around here. I've been to Thailand for just a couple of days, a few other countries, but never to live. But this is the first one to stay for any length of time.
And so how did you end up picking Cambodia to stay for a longer period of time?
Well, I did extensive research, particularly your channel. I went through all the retired chief guides, and I had been to Cambodia once before, and I remember how cheap it really was. At first, I stayed in Phnom Penh, and I knew what the prices were there. And then when I came to Siem Reap, I just at that time in 2019, I thought I'd do a little search around to see how much apartments were here, and they were like half the price they were in Phnom Penh. So I was like, wow, Siem Reap. And I kind of really liked the town of Siem Reap when I was here before for about a week. It was pretty much cost of living here. The ambiance of the place kind of drew me here.
When did you start thinking, or what made you think like, hey, maybe I'll live overseas somewhere? When did you start thinking that?
That's a good question. I've always thought that since I was a little kid. I've always been into geography and history and cultures, all kinds of stuff. I used to read about it all the time. When I got out of school and I was a young adult, at that time, I'm 57 years old. So at that time, back in the late 90s, there was no internet. There was no way to digitally nomad yourself overseas. So I couldn't figure out a way to pay for it. So I just settled into life like every other American. My parents were pushing me to get married and do this and that. And I got married and was married for about 14 years. And that was a failure. It just didn't work out. She wanted to build a castle and I wanted to explore. So we broke up, and then my mother was dying of cancer. So I had a job at the post office, which I absolutely hated. And not because of the work and the people that you work with or the customers, and just the management is horrible. I got done with that and went and took care of my mom exclusively because I was the only sibling that wasn't married. And when she died, I still had some money left over. And I thought, you know what? I might as well go travel and do something before I have to start a job again. I was doing some research online, and there was a guy named No Joke Howard. I thought, well, how can I go overseas and live and make money to be able to sustain myself? Because you need money or you're going to starve, and you definitely don't want to go broke in a foreign country. But I could go to Cambodia because they didn't require you to have a degree to teach English. So I picked Cambodia to come here, and I came over here. As soon as I got here, I was like, wow, there's just something about this country, and I don't know how to explain it. And particularly Siem Reap, I don't know what it is about this town and about this country. It has a vibe to it that it's unexplainable. You got to be here to get it. It's the people, just the undertone, the vibe of the place is, I don't know what it is. It's like being in a Zen thing, with George Harrison in India or something. It's like it's just you're totally at peace, and I think that's why I like it here a lot.
Wow, that sounds really fun. We also love Siem Reap. It's an amazing place. So, what are what's it like an average month for you living expenses, if you know?
It depends on what I'm feeling that month, but as far if I wanted to live minimally here, just average, normal, comfortable, I could probably live here easily $600 a month, $500 to $600 a month. I could easily live here comfortably, and that's including having a moto that I'm renting, an apartment, pay for the electricity, all the food, but I cook myself, beer if I want it, anything that I want. You can live comfortably here. I could even live for less if I wanted to, but comfortably for me, 5 to 6, I would say $500 to $600 a month.
Okay,
And of course, I was just going to say you could live cheaper. I mean, you could live Khmer style. I know there's people that do it. There are expats here that do it, that live Khmer style and can live on $250, $300 a month. But you're gonna be suffering a little bit.
wow, that's really low. And
Yeah.
and so what? So 4 months now. If you were to say what you actually spend over the last four, what would the average be per month?
Well, see, the funny thing is that I went out to eat for like the first 3 months. So there's this little Mexican place down close to Pub Street called Viva, and I'd go there like because Mexican. I'm from Arizona, so I love Mexican food. But when I went by there, when I was coming into town, the taxi driver took me by there, and my hotel is right behind that place called Stung Siem Reap. And there's Viva right there. I was like, Mexican restaurant. So I kind of camped out there for a couple months. And I'm not doing that anymore though, because you can spend $20 a day there, and I didn't want to spend that kind of money every single day. That gets expensive.
Yeah.
So I want and like the whole idea is to be as minimalistic as I can be. And I'm in that phase now. So I would say over the last 4 months, just because I was blowing money, eating out and stuff, that's in 4 months, $1,000 a month.
So there's a range, 600 if you're living on a budget, 1,000 if you're going for that Mexican food, huh?
Or the hamburger or the jungle burger or something like that. It's if you go to those places, yeah, you're going to pay a little more. You can do it a lot cheaper if you cook at home. Yeah.
You should not get the idea in your head that it's easy to live on $1,000 per month overseas. The majority of the expats I interview and that I meet overseas are spending over $2,000 per month, some over $3,000 per month. If you go on a steady diet of Western food, Western accommodations, and expat bars, it is almost impossible to stay under $2,000 per month. And you should not leave your home country until you have significant savings in case of an emergency overseas. Many locals know how to live cheaply in their country, but very few expats can do it. You have to put your feet on the ground before you know what your overseas life will cost you.
So, do you feel safe living there?
Absolutely. In fact, one of my last videos on my channel, I was explaining that this is probably the safest place I've ever lived. I have not had a bad look from a Khmer person since I've been here. They always smile. I've seen people get into accidents with motos or somebody hit a car and they're both jump out of the car smiling at each other and say, oh, sorry, trying to help each other. It's otherworldly here. There's no road rage, none of that. Yeah, nothing like that. So I feel safer here than I've ever felt anywhere in my life.
And that kind of answers my next question is like, how does it feel different living there versus, back in Arizona?
Oh, wow. Now, I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way as far as how I feel about the United States, because I love my country. I mean, I was in the Marine Corps and I served my country and I love it. But the stress, I think, is the difference. The stress levels. Here, I feel like I'm in a Tibetan monastery. Back home, it's everybody's, in a hurry always, and it's stressful, and everybody's angry about something. It's just, it's a different vibe. Every place has got its own vibe, and back home, it's, unless you go to a small town and back home, if you're living in a city back home, it's bad. It's stressful. So I think that's what it was, is just that de-stress. It was like I just pulled the plug in the drain and just let it all go.
Yeah.
And it's been a wonderful time since I've been here.
That's great.
I feel so much I feel healthier being here.
Yeah. So you mentioned you have a YouTube channel. Let's get to that in a minute. But I wanted to ask you if you had a chance to use medical or dental there, and if so, what is your experience and cost?
I have not. I have not had to use any of that here. I've talked to a few people that have, and they say that the main hospital downtown in Siem Reap, right across from Pub Street, is a pretty good hospital. I can't tell you firsthand, but they say it's a pretty good hospital and it's pretty cheap. Now, if I think for minor things like anything outpatient, I think it'd be fine to go there, go to the hospitals here. Anything major, I think I would probably go back home to, I was in the military, so I'd go to VA because I don't have insurance yet. But, or Bangkok or Manila, I would probably Manila because they speak English there more. But I would probably travel out. And I think that the rich here go to Singapore or Manila or Bangkok, I think.
Yeah. I would recommend Kuala Lumpur or Bangkok. Singapore is expensive.
Oh yeah, Kuala Lumpur, that's another one, yeah.
And Manila, I'm not that impressed with the hospitals there. I like Kuala Lumpur and Bangkok, and they're both ranked internationally really well. And
I'll take your word for it.
Kuala Lumpur is a little cheaper, so just some thoughts there.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans to date there? And if so, is that happening or what?
Well, I guess I'm the kind of guy that if it happens, it happens. But I'm on my path. When I was married back in the States, it was a pain in the neck because I was always constantly trying to make her happy, and I was forgetting my dreams. So I made sure that this time, my dreams come first, and if somebody wants to follow along, then they can come.
That's a great.
I mean, I would love to come. Yeah, I would love to come up with a situation like you have with Chung to go around the world and travel and do the things that you guys do. But that has to fall into your lap. You can't just. It just doesn't happen. You can't force it. I'm just going to let it happen. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then I just keep moving.
Yeah, that's great. Plus you're giving yourself time to meet someone who has your same view of the world rather than building a castle you want to explore, using your words.
Yep. Yep. I think there's two types of people in the world. That's what I'm saying. That's what I think.
Definitely.
Castle builders and explorers.
Yeah, I like that. So does this feel permanent to you, or do you think you'll move along someday? What are your thoughts about that?
This could be a place where I end up, like where it comes a time when I'm 98 years old and I can't move anymore. This would probably be the place I would end up. From what I've seen so far. Now I can't say that totally because, or I mean, what's the word for that? Definitely. Because I want to do what you do. I want to travel around the world and slow travel. So I think that's going to be, but for now, I couldn't imagine a better place, if that's answer your question. Yes.
That's great.
I'm going to stay here until I get Social Security.
Okay. And so what sort of visa do you have that allows you to stay there?
In Cambodia, from what I know, if you go on their website, the Cambodian government website, there's two types of visas. There's a travel visa and there's something you call the e-visa or ordinary visa. If you want to stay here long term, you get the e-visa because the tourist visa you cannot turn into a long-term visa. The e-visa you can. Now, if you want to get a business visa, that's a different story. You have to pay extra for that. But for the e-visa, just to retire here is easy. You get the e-visa, it lasts for 30 days. And before the 30 days is up, I would suggest about a week and a half, probably before that, you go into the travel agency. That's how they do it here. Go into the travel agency and tell them you want a long-term visa. And they have options for 3, 6, and 12 months, I believe it is. And so I signed up for the 12-month visa just to get it out of the way. And that cost me $295, I believe it was, for the whole year. So roughly $30 a month. So it's not too bad.
That's great. So Michael, finish this sentence for me. Don't come here if you think it's going to be.
Don't come here if you think it's going to be like Bangkok, Pattaya, Phuket, and Angeles City. This is a very conservative country. Can you party here? Yeah, but it's few and far between. Can you drink and have a good time here? Yeah, you can go to Pub Street. You could probably find a happy girl down there, but it's not like Pattaya or Bangkok, 𝗙 cowboy, all that stuff. It's nothing like that. It's a very conservative country, so don't come here if you think this is going to be the party hub.
Okay. And do come here if you're looking for
peace and tranquility. I think that's a warm and welcoming culture and people. If you're here to de-stress and to live comfortably and happy, I'd say come here for that, for peace.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
And so, Michael, I found you from your YouTube channel. Tell us, what do you like to talk about on there? What's the name of it? Tell us about your channel.
The channel is called 𝗏 to Paradise. And the reason for that name is because I wanted to document my journey from the Matrix, which was a truck driving job, to my paradise, which is living overseas and doing what Dan does in Vagabond Awake and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. And I wanted to document that. So the first probably 70 videos are a whole year of me driving a tractor trailer. I was a tractor trailer driver for the end of the time there because it made easy money and I didn't have to pay rent, so I could sleep in the back. I pretty much just wanted to document my journey coming to do what you're doing. I want to inspire people you inspire me, so I want to give it back to, I want to, pay forward,
So are you happy, Michael?
I couldn't be happier.
Tell us again the name of your channel.
Matrix, like, the movie Matrix, 𝗏 to Paradise.
Thanks for coming on the channel and telling your story.
Thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate it so much.